All right, a little bit of lag there, but I believe we're good to start. Hey, hi, hello, everyone. Hey,
Hello.
I am Ray, the producer on Galaxy of 3, and this is Paul, lead designer of Galaxy of 3. And we're actually here today to show you the build. Yep, that's right. If you're here at this stream right now, that means you get to see what the build looks like. So you should tell your friends. They should be coming here to look. This is live. This is hot. This is uncut, unedited, happening right now.
As can be proven by so many of our flubs.
Exactly. Everyone watching right now, if you're unsure what you're looking at, this is game dev. This is game dev right here. You're gonna see some cool stuff. You're gonna see some really cool new features. You're gonna see some bugs. It's gonna be pretty sweet. You're gonna let me know. You go to the forums. Let me know about the bugs. It's gonna be good. Hopefully everything's running well today. All right. Well, let's go to some questions here, because I love answering questions. And by I love answering questions, I mean I love asking Paul questions, and he provides the answers. All right. Let's see. Interesting. We have a question from Iron_Sir. Will the AI be able to offer a counter proposal?
Eventually, yeah, but not in beta. Not in beta 2. Well, right now, the AI won't be offering you anything, but you can trade with the AIs, and they will trade with each other. But there's so much flavor text and everything involved in the AI making offers to you that we haven't had time to really make work right. So we just don't let it do that yet. But eventually, yeah. And as far as like you making an offer and it says, screw that, how about this? Hopefully we won't really need to do that because we'll make it so that you can tell how much to offer. I don't know. I do like the idea, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's not really what I don't think you want. You're not going to really want to like, hey, can I have this? It's like, no, but you could have this. Well, actually, no, that does sound cool. Yeah, but no, not currently. So that's your answer. I will resist promising any new features in this current speech.
All right, cool. That sounds good to me.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let the game play itself, and we'll. It's a great new command.
Okay, while Paul's typing, I'm actually going to look through these awesome questions here. Let's tell you what. If anybody is curious, if you just go to the forums, you can submit any questions. And we will answer them live on the dev stream. Boom.
What's this? We're starting to get in some. These don't have their particles yet, but this is a economic relic. And let's see what else we got out here. So I am playing on a small map, so there won't be that many. There's another 2 economic relics. Here's an ascension gate. Actually, this is an ascension crystal, and so now you can study these, build a xenoarchaeology module on any starbase. Currently, you don't even have to have like a particular type of starbase. Oh, there's a economic one. I'm not sure if I love these colors. And you can study those kind of like mining, and then you get ascension points, which eventually can let you win the game with the ascension victory. And then the relics you study, and like this one is approval. So the more you study it, your global approval goes up. So those are they're still cosmetically not quite where we want them to be, but they are functioning, in fact. So those will be in the beta. They might not be fully as pretty as I would like them to be, but they will be in.
We got a question from Ronan the Wizard. How will crusades function?
Well, the crusade is part of the campaign, really. So there's not currently like a game mode crusade. The crusade is really part of the campaign, which we're really not talking about yet. But more or less, the Terrans come back and have to essentially wreak havoc through the galaxy till they can reclaim Earth, which will be essentially the main storyline of the campaign. And that will leave us at the end with a bunch of really pissed off Terrans. And then in the next expansion, the Crusade will be essentially the Terrans get to be a little bit bitter, and they tend to go out and try and wipe out everybody who ever wronged them. So it's a bit of drama. But yeah, the Crusade, as far as like is really a campaign oriented thing. There's not a game mode called Crusade. All of the technologies and cool stuff in the campaign will be in the game though, and we might have custom maps that allow you to do some of those special features without having to go into the middle of the campaign to do it.
Okay. So Iron Sir also asks in diplomacy, will there be an option to ask the AI what will be willing to trade for whatever the player is offering?
Yes and no. Where that's one of those things where we have to balance it to where you can say, hey, what will you give me for this? That's kind of very related to the earlier question of counterbalance. Oh, it looks like a war has started because somebody's blowing things up. I guess the Altarians. Yeah.
What's the that cool arrow on display there, Paul? I believe that's new, right?
That's a rally point. This would be a Drengen rally point. And you see, yes, the Drengen just sent a ship there. And the AI places rally points. This is weirdly blue, dark colored. I don't think that's supposed to be. That must be a bug. So yeah, and it looks like all of those are strangely dark colored. Yeah, so you can see where the AI places them. I can place them myself. Oh, look like since the AI is playing for me, there's my rally point right there. That is also where, like, you can say all star bases send to your ships to this rally point, or send all constructors to this rally point. It's super, super useful. It's already super, super useful.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
Anyways, I was going to say, yeah, we will try and make the offering and buying and everything process as painless as possible. Right now in the beta, though, it will be you do have to kind of go in here. Matter of fact, let me stop the soak if I can. Can I stop the soak? Toggle. AI. Oops. There we go. And I can go in here and let me talk to the Kren. Or not. Maybe I broke all the actions.
Mid-action using the console command may have confused it right there.
Yeah. So I think, there was another command that, damn it. Anyways. Yeah, so, I'm going to need to get in here. All right. So I'll talk to the Drengen. So right now I'll come in and I'll say, hey, I'll offer you I definitely don't want to offer them any treaties. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Oh, darn. They already have, they have more text than me. That's depressing. Okay, I'm going to offer them a open borders treaty and see if I can get something from it. How about diplomacy? And it says I'm going to need a lot more than that, so I can go in here and say, let me offer you some money.
Gotcha. Is there now with that list on the right there? There's a question too, actually.
They
from Iron
still
Sir.
don't like me.
They had asked, is there any of the text that they want to know? Is there anything in which the AI will they won't trade no matter what? Will we be able to show that visually?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, we'll probably go ahead and do a lot of color coding in there in the beta, not so much. But yeah, we want to essentially go in there like, okay, so I just bought something from them, but now I owe the Drengen. Oh, wow. Apparently there's a buttload of.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is not actually supposed to be happening. Oh, I guess it is. The AI was playing for me.
Right.
The AI was making all these deals. So I just made a deal for open borders and I offered him 160 gold. 160 billion credits and 11 credits a week. And so now I'm losing 11 credits a week for their diplomacy tech. So needless to say, that was a really bad deal. And I deeply regret that. Can I break it? I think I can. Does that mean I lost the tech? I'll have to double check that. But yeah, what we'll probably end up doing is having things color code. We don't like to say that nothing will ever. I don't like the idea of just having hard-coded blocks. The AI will never give you this. The AI will never give you that. We want those things to be based on the character's personality, and there is like there's a personality calculation for the race. There's its approval of you. Here, if we go to relations here, I can see like the Drengen like me. Oh, here, the Altarians don't like me because I have a weaker military than them. And we have shared borders. So they're kind of like getting grumpy with me. You can see that little red arrows saying, and they're getting grumpier. So it's not even like, they like you, but they're starting to not like you. And so each of these, this tooltip will get a little more elaborate. But those types of things are really going to contribute to how willing somebody is to trade with you. So if you just go in and say, and throw enough at them, you can probably get them to trade with you. So it's kind of hard to color code things. But yeah, we're going to do a lot of work on that. We're going to make it so like when they definitely don't like you, things are red. And then as you add more money, maybe they'll turn yellow. And then when they do agree, they'll turn green and things like that. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do on that. In the beta 2, it's all very bare bones diplomacy. But you can already have a lot of fun with it. It's just not as obvious what things can be sold as you would expect or as you would like.
Okay.
It's weird as these are very light colored.
So a lot of those things you were flying through, I kind of want to slow down for a second to show off a lot of the new things that we put in. You were looking at you checking out the screen to show how everybody was feeling with the diplomacy, correct?
Yes.
Seeing how everybody that's all their moods right now. That's
their current moods. Yeah, you can see. Okay, so like the Drengen like me and they're liking me more and more. The Terrans like me, and they're liking me more. And so the Iridium's like, but for some reason I pissed off the Altarians, and they like me, but they're starting to like me less. And it's probably because, let's see. Yeah, see, my border is pushing onto them. These guys are all really far from me. So like, yeah, you're great. Oh, wait, I'm playing the Kren, aren't I? So, yeah. Say exactly what I was saying. So now I bet that the Terrans and the Altarians will probably be going to war shortly. If I send some trade over to somebody who's warring with them, they will start to not like me, and it gets pretty crazy. I'm actually a little surprised that things haven't degraded to total war yet. I guess over here, yeah, the Iridium, and we don't have eventually we're going to have our little tree of war like we did in Galactic 2. That will show who's fighting who, and that will be really nice too. Okay, did you have another question?
Yeah, I'm just flying through the list real quick here. Oh, actually, Ronan the Wizard asks, how will the Iridium's planet killer work?
I'm pretty sure, though. I'm trying to remember here because I'm not playing as them right now. That's what I get for stopping autoplay in the middle of a thing. Their planet killer is essentially annihilates. It's kind of like the spore weapon from Galactic 2, except for it doesn't do any damage to anything. It just kills everyone, and you get the planet. It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be in beta 2. But yeah, it essentially just goes in and blam, takes out. If that ship hits the orbit of the planet, it takes out everyone on it. The bad news is you suddenly have inherited a planet with a buttload of maintenance and such, and you have no people on it. So you have to quickly get people there and man it. It's an Age of Victory or an Age of Ascension module, so it's not something you have to worry about right away. It's really a late game cleanup. Sorry, Galaxy cleanup weapon. A lot of people have similar. The spore web, the Drengen have the spore. The Terrans have something else. So they're not everybody has a planet killer, but and I ripped the term planet killer off of Babylon 5. More or less, it's any sort of device that will just take out an entire planet without any effort. Some of them do a lot of damage. Some of them don't. The Iridium one is all about salvaging the planet, and that's kind of why it works the way it does. Come on, people, blow each other up.
All right. Ooh, interesting. Actually, Ronan the Wizard has another really good one. In diplomacy, will we be able to trade for a future favor, sort of like an IOU within the trading system?
Currently, no, but that is a little bit of how the QP works. Like where if you vote the way the AI wants you to vote, it will kind of start going, oh, hey, I like that guy. And I do like the idea, but there's no, hey, speaking of the UP, hello. Hey, I won. Although it looks like it's broken because I did something stupid. Sorry, I broke the game.
Looks like there's a lot of questions in the chat right now with concerns to AI, and it'd probably be best to reassure the players that this is definitely an early iteration of the AI, but it is a lot more thoughtful now, arguably, with this latest beta 2 that we're aiming towards, which of course is not out just yet for the players.
Yeah, well, so our priorities for the AI for this build were really actually to get it a little smarter, but mostly to get it doing diplomacy. So that is where our efforts went. We didn't really spend. I'm going to have to kill this. This is what happens when you use cheat codes on a stream. Goodbye. Sorry. So yeah, the was to get it using diplomacy. It is a little smarter. It's better at dogpiling you. It's better at using starports. We have, a long way to go, and we don't want to, by any means, claim that it's done.
Gotcha. Were you able to get Galciv back up?
Yeah, restarting it now.
Okay.
No,
launch.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
Anyways, cool.
That's the build that we were supposed to be playing. That just got staged.
Having a hiccup there.
So the AI's got a long way to go. It's a little smarter, but just because you start this build and it's still doing silly things, that does not mean that we don't care about it. It just means that we haven't really had the time to get it kicking butt. We're still building a lot of infrastructure. What else do we have that we haven't shown?
Definitely talking about there's mention of the rally points right now in chat. I think now, for those of you that are on the stream, seeing that right now, you'll notice that the game is up and live again, and we'll be able to show the rally point system actually off in a little bit. Let's see. Oh, actually, there's a question asking, would there be a ship option to guard borders? Kind of to be helpful in the late game.
We're probably going to have some more smarter behaviors for stuff like that. Right now, that's kind of goes with the AI. So as we teach the AI to do these things better itself, we can then expose those actions to the player. We kind of introduced do stuff like that a little bit reluctantly because we don't want the game to become too automated, because then it's like, we always make the joke of, you press the play button like I'm doing right now, and then the game just plays itself. We don't want that. But there's definitely a lot of, when we get planetary governors in, we get some smarter behaviors for the surveying and exploring. I wouldn't mind having an auto defend border or something like that. Right now, what you really have to do is essentially, I'd like to have a patrol border that just essentially flies around your border in a big circle. That would be kind of nice. And then it could be like guard, where it will grab your attention if, while flying, it sees something. We don't want it to be flying along and then see something and then automatically attack it, because that takes an action away from the player. We really want, we don't mind it moving for you, but we don't want it attacking for you if at all possible.
Okay. Actually, there's a question in the chat right now asking if we will have any bigger maps coming in Beta 2.
We are enabling huge in Beta 2, so that's one more size, bigger than large. Than what was in the last game. I think huge is roughly the same size as gigantic in Galactic 2. The current plan is to introduce one new map size per beta. So we've got huge in Beta 2. We'll have gigantic, or is it immense? We'll have immense in Beta 3, and then excessive in Beta 4, and was it whatever's the last one? Insane.
Yeah.
Insane will be the last one, and that should be right about the time we're wrapping things up for gold.
Of course, that's what's really interesting too about adding the bigger map sizes. All the new things that get introduced with that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for us, and also as we go bigger and bigger, we have to do more and more performance optimization. So that's why we're reluctant to put those things out while we're in the middle of a lot of development, because we can't afford to stop and optimize every single thing as we introduce it. So we do a bunch of things, then we go through and we optimize, and then we add more, and then we go through and we optimize. So if we had to check everything against immense, it would add a lot of dev time. So we make sure it works, and then as we move forward and things get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, then we can kind of expose it to the world. And I've played a few immense games, and I have yet to finish one because they're huge. Huge-mungus.
Huge-mungus.
Yeah.
I like that word. Oh, actually, this is a really good one. Will there be any trading packs in Diplomacy, such as, I'll trade with you, only if you don't trade with that other person, though?
We have similar things. We have trade embargo. Yes, you can say, if you embargo Bob, I will give you this. And that affects, I believe that currently only affects trade routes, but yes, we will probably make that also affect trading, which will make it a super powerful treaty. So it's hard. It's like, yeah, we want to have that in, but if it's such a valuable thing that the AI is like, no way will I ever do that, it's kind of useless. So those are the type of things we have to balance.
Okay. Actually, Larson XX had asked it a very general kind of question of to show off the new resources that'll be available if that they haven't seen in their current build, and I think you've scanned a few.
Well, it depends on what he meant by that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, these used to be what we called resources in Galactic 2, so those are new, and they're not quite done yet. I'm not sure why this survey ship is sitting there staring at this one. So the Galactic resources, which these things are going in. There are two more component resources, one Prometheon and one Thallium. Those will probably not go in until Beta 3, and those are planet-based, so you can mine essentially planets. A lot of these things aren't really very useful until combat is in, so that's why we're kind of dragging our heels on it. But since combat is scheduled for the next beta, that is the plan. But stuff like antimatter and Illyrium here, these are really for building cool modules. Somebody made a suggestion on the forum in this questions about having the resources be good for terraforming, and I think that's kind of brilliant. I might totally just do that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so essentially that way we could make terraforming a little easier to do, but make it require a resource, and therefore you wouldn't just terraform every single tile, because that's the problem. Is we have to be careful with terraforming not to let people make every planet a 23, and then essentially become gods. And although I guess as long as everybody can do it equally, that's not that big of a deal. Somebody is not happy. Look at these guys. Let me build that. Oops. We still have not quite fixed that problem. So we're working on it, though.
Jonah Lara asked in the chat, are there any new Kren techs you're excited about?
Oh, yeah, I'm actually really happy. Am I still playing as the... Oh, why did I do this again? Am I playing as the Kren? I think I am. We got to get the color. At some point, the UI will colorize based on the race you're playing.
Yeah, you're as Terran right now, I believe. That's another really big thing too, actually.
I'm Terran. I'm ready. I mean, I'm Kren. Yeah. Okay. So the Kren have a bunch of really neat techs. I'm very. Oh, look. Oops. I better track that down and fix it. Anyways, so the Kren have some really neat techs. They have the path, all right? So the path is essentially their religion. It's their religion tech. And essentially they move up the path to the calling and the calling to the orders and all of which lead you to the way. And then but the cool thing about the path is that all of their things that you can see are the Krennic temple builds Krennic. I should learn how to say my own words. Anyways, the temple, it gives you both approval and influence. And they also start with the Kren consulate, which also gives you approval and influence. And then as you move up their tree, each of these, this tree serves as your approval and your influence tree. And so you really get a lot of bang for your buck out of that. I know it's not super sexy, but if you want to culture flip the galaxy, these are the guys to play. And then the path is all this kind of religious mumbo jumbo. And as you go up, you can choose the path of wisdom or the order. Oh, I thought I changed that. Call of order, call of peace, call of action. These are all giving bonuses. And then there's the shadow path, which is essentially like their whole religion has this. They acknowledge the need for things outside of the order, and that is the shadow path, which is where essentially the Kren Syndicate lives. So the shadow path is essentially gives you a lot of governmental bonuses. It gives you a lot of diplomatic bonuses. And then like the unseen way essentially makes everybody who you're at war with suddenly feel much more war weary. There's also shadow enforcers, which I love. This is essentially a temple you could build on your planets that boosts approval, but it does so by making sure no one can extort your planets except for them, and they essentially extort your planets. They also have shadow trade, which is essentially it's a version of smuggling. They have war profiteering, which they get more money based on if the races they are at war with. They have unseen trade, which this one we have to do a bunch of code for, so it's not in yet. But you are actually, and I might have to pull this because it might not work, but I really want to do it. You actually get to... you can trade with your enemy. So, and they essentially get nothing. You get money, and all you have to do is essentially keep them from destroying the trade route, and you can just continue to trade with them. What else? So this is just in this one tree. Okay, and then I go up to expansion. They have the coordination temple. So essentially, the idea is that the church, the religion, and the syndicate together kind of control all labor. So they build these coordination temples, and they're really neat. They're kind of a crazy improvement. They're not useful all the time, but what they do is they don't do anything themselves, but they give large adjacency bonuses to anything. So this is your perfect thing to build between a bunch of small things you're not doing. A factory circle, you want your approval and your economic and your tourism and your this and a factory and a research, you put those around this thing and it jacks up their bonuses. And then if you get it high enough, it'll give you, the labor oracle will give you five times adjacency bonus to anything near it. So, but then again, by itself, if you were to displace it on a tile, it does nothing except for cost you money. So it's kind of like a evil religious union hall that they build. What else we got here? They also, because they're a coalition of races, they get extreme worlds faster than everybody else. Not that it matters for beta 2 because they're not enabled. They get terraforming faster than everybody else. They get food. They get some of the food improvements faster than everybody else because, they have all these different races that can eat different things. I was going to have them have a bunch of logistical stuff, but instead I gave it to them as a racial bonus. So that's nice. In the military tree, they only really have the one, but they have Jihad, which is essentially they automatically just get attack bonuses on all their weapons. And then you can do Shadow Warriors, which increases your soldiers. Devout Defenders, which increases your planetary defense quite a bit. Steadfast Faith makes it so your planet can't culture flip as quickly, so it gives you more time to recover from those. Divine Fleets there's a fleet module that's essentially you put a temple in your fleet, you build it on a support ship or whatever, and it essentially rallies. It's like taking a religious leader with you in your fleet, and it rallies everybody around it. So you get a bunch of bonuses from that. And then their last one is Undaunted Crews, which gives them a big hit point bonus, and Righteous Strength, which gives them a defense bonus. So there's a bunch of little advantages to that. But the bulk of their awesomeness really comes from the path and the callings and all that. So it should be really fun. Some of these features are not quite in yet or are disabled, but as we move forward, it should be very fun. I'm really looking forward to the Kren. I'm actually a little worried I've overpowered them.
That wouldn't be the worst thing, would it? Playing
for the people playing them.
Yeah. Let's say, hey, let's see in the chat. I don't think anything's wrong with that. See what the chat says. Oh, actually, there's a pretty cool question coming in. Critique on the diplomacy screen, actually. Mentioning that it seems like the positions of the like/dislike colors in the diplomacy screen should be reversed. Like where it should be more to the right, the indicator is the more you are liked. Compared to where they're noticing it right now.
What are they talking about?
Relations. There we go.
More to the right?
Yeah. I guess they're left-centric.
Oh, look. Apparently nobody likes... well, I usually just do the color spectrum. As a matter of fact, these are a little too green. So it's red is bad and green is blue. That is just a preference. That's something we've been doing since Galactic 2. I've never really thought about why it would want to be the other way.
Yeah. It's just difference of opinion, but definitely right now you can see with the unhappy face that it's not working out too well with the Altarians and the Terrans right now.
Yeah, they apparently do not like me. This is what happens when you have a tiny map, or actually it's a small map. And oh, damn. Apparently, while I wasn't paying attention, I started getting my butt kicked.
Yeah, as you can see right now too, actually on the stream, the AI is getting way more aggressive in this upcoming build. Not only that, they're building formations, as you can see on the map, and
holy moly, I think the Altarians might have this one.
Yeah, Paul's now realizing that the Altarians are really using their might. For those curious about the AI at this time.
Also, culture flipping is in. One of the things that we will be doing. I'm pretty sure I'm actually going over it this weekend to make sure everything is solid. But we'll be enabling everything but United Planets victory. That said, a lot of these victory conditions are going to be a little one-sided because the AI doesn't use them quite up to the highest bar yet. So, like if you want to go for an Ascension victory, you will get it because the AI is not mining Ascension crystals. Influence victory, the AI will win an influence victory, but it doesn't consciously make an effort to do so right now. But yeah, so the victory conditions are in. for the most part, the AI is still just going for conquest. But you can get a diplomacy victory by getting alliances with everybody. You can win the tech victory by unlocking all three of the... actually, it says right here, unlocking all three of these techs and building an ascension gate. Although that's not really as cool because we don't have the cool cutscene for it yet. So...
Cool. Actually, I realize that's almost our time for the day. We've really flown through it today, with the questions and everything. Of course, we do have next week too. It was really good this week too. I hope everybody enjoyed seeing the Kren so far. I know we're gonna be displaying them next week as well, along with the diplomacy work that we have going on right now. The black hole particle is really cool. And that's currently what's being displayed right now.
Yeah. Just stopping on a nice, pretty picture.
Yeah. Actually, we had, man, there's a lot in the chat about that left and right. But actually, the one question I want to grab before we left, and it was that there have been some comments that Galciv 2 was kind of hard to understand and to pick up. Now, what are some of the finer points in Galciv 3 that would help with that, would you say? For people new to the game.
Well, we're going to have a tutorial over my dead body. I say that every time I'm on mic so that I can be sure that we actually get it. So that should go a long way. We also have much more. We have tooltips that explain things now. Galciv 2, we had pretty much nothing. Like you can literally just go over your money here and see exactly where it's coming from, exactly what it costs. You can see your population. You can see why your population is going up or going down, why your influence is going up, why your influence is going down. These things are really, really important because in Galciv 2, there was a lot of it was a mystery. It's always going to be a little bit of a heavy game, so we'll definitely, that's why I want to have a tutorial. But we're going quite a bit out of our way to make sure that things are much more self-explanatory. And also, like I said, we'll have a tutorial. And like I said, the new tooltip systems go a huge way, I think, also. Now, that said, there's always going to be a lot of nuance. And our goal is not to make it so everybody can play the game, can master the game quickly. We want everybody to be able to play the game and enjoy the game quickly, and then, spend their time mastering it, especially once combat comes in. Those are things that will require, learning just the right techniques as the AI gets smarter or as we balance things, because we intend to keep, updating it, making it smarter and smarter. So we want players to be able to forever kind of learn how to wreak havoc. So that's our plan.
Yeah, there's also comments in the chat too that wanting it to be, a more advanced game, which is something we definitely are going to adhere to. Still keep that complexity though.
No, yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, that's kind of been my mantra since the beginning, since I came on to the project. Is I want it to be a bigger, better version of Galciv 2. The point of the big difference, and somebody asked this on the forums earlier, was what is the difference between Galciv 2 and Galciv 3? Galciv 3 our goal is to be bigger, more epic, and more everything. Just a much more epic, a much richer galaxy. We have more resources, we have more parts, we have more races, we have more gameplay aspects. We have a new UP system that is much more elaborate and fun to play with. We have just so much more, and the whole thing is it should be more. It should be more, but also we don't want it to be overwhelming. So that's why we've kind of start simple and then add these things, and they always have to, and sometimes they have to be subtle, and we want them to be subtle and people are like, well, what's the point of that? And was, well, because when you're a master at the game, this thing is going to be subtly important. I mean, super important, but when you're just learning, you don't have to know these little nitpicky things to play the game. So hopefully people will appreciate that. We want to keep that richness. That's why we have tech trading still. That's why we have, all kinds of these little features that would be very easy to to go, oh, you don't need that. You don't need that. It's like, yeah, but every one of those little fun features you take away kind of steals the soul out of the game. And we very much want to stay true to Galciv 2 in that way.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's pretty much our time today, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Wanted to wave, say thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming by. That's it for right now. Please tune in. I believe it's next Wednesday. I will be back with Sorcerer King. And then next Friday, we will be back with another Galactic 3 stream, which will be very cool because we'll be going in depth with Beta 2.
Yep. We should have it locked and done, or Beta 2 locked and done for that. Yep.
That'll be the highlight of next week. So anybody curious about that, that'll be done. All right. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.